We make dental billing and insurance easier to understand. Subscribe to stay updated and help us grow the channel.
So I think, the benefit of partnering up with a vendor or someone else in the community is that they're oftentimes going to be getting some face time. If it's a local supplier, they're making visits in person to your to your potential attendees, but those personal invites are going to be your highest return on investment. And so one of the most successful things that I would do as a marketing professional on behalf of this perio practice was to, we don't want to be doing those drive-by deliveries. Specialists, a lot of times they'll be getting, goodies from the specialty practice and they're like, oh, look what they just dropped off. And they'll literally say they dropped it off. But what you want to do is I would always ask for the office manager when I was doing the delivery. And a lot of times they would be available and I would introduce myself and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know that Dr. Jones said that he would love to treat us to lunch. So if you'd be willing to go to lunch with me, we'll pick up the lunch tab and it gives us a chance to just get to know a little bit more about you and your practice and what your needs are. And you get treated to a lunch. And a lot of times they would say yes. And so, if they're not busy, you can invite them another time, but many times I would get yeses. And then that's when you get that relationship established. And then once they kind of get familiarized with you, get to know you, they're like, okay, maybe we should go to this event. And then that can result in so much benefit for you, not only for your event attendees, but also for your referrals and just growing and establishing those relationships. So do more than just the drive-by deliveries. Make sure that you have some intention with that delivery to either make a face-to-face introduction with them, invite them to lunch, and start growing those relationships that way. So personal invites, whether it's by you or a vendor partner that you're working with, can be extremely effective. We all know that email and social media is a great, easy way to get the word out there about events, but it's not always going to reach everyone. People already have an inbox that's inundated with emails. You can get creative and make sure that your email looks good using Canva or some of these other tools and making sure that you're including photos of real people. That'll help to get their attention in that email. And then promoting your event on social media can be incredibly beneficial for a specialist because now sometimes specialists say, well, do our patients want to see that? Are they okay with it? And I think if you word it in the right way, they're going to see you as a sort of a teaching hospital, if you will. So it gives you extra credibility that you're educating dentists and doctors in your community and other dental professionals. So it really kind of elevates your position in the community. So you definitely want to take advantage of that to not only promote your events, but also to, help to elevate your perception in the community as well. And then take some time to think outside of the box. Those unexpected surprises can really delight people and have an impact on your marketing efforts. So rather than just, dropping off some donuts or some random treat, you can really take a little bit of time to think about what it is that you're going to be delivering with whatever your intention is. So if it is to get attendees at your study club, you could do, for example, like a big box with a variety of different herbal teas and have a message, we're steeping in wisdom. Or maybe a box of different types of cookies, something about smart cookies, attending our study club, or popping some, grand ideas, popping some big ideas, dropping off, popcorn. I always used to like to take gifts that the whole team could enjoy. So, I think if you get a little bit of creativity mixed in there, some unexpected ways that you can delight people can make a big impact as well.
Well, the team always knows who gives the best gifts. Like we always loved when the specialist came for Christmas, right? So
right. They do for sure. And, and then oftentimes you get to know them well enough and they're like, come back into our break room and, get to know so-and-so. And so you want to take that opportunity after your event also to strengthen those relationships. I always love that phrase, the fortune is in your follow-up. It's absolutely true in so many aspects of our dental business. I mentioned email. It's really easy to send a thank you and a save the date through email. But remember, people are already inundated with email. Worst case scenario, it's something that you can do. Utilizing social media. If you only had 5 people that attended your little study club to start with, it's okay. That message is going to be amplified when you can tag and share and build up some FOMO on, what people missed, so that you can get better attendance at the next meeting. And then encourage your guests to invite their besties. You might even say, we have some special gifts for you whenever you bring a friend. We have a gift for both of you. Maybe you're going to enter them into a special drawing for something. It could be a gift or a gift card or something that your sponsor provides. It gives them another opportunity for some visibility, or like some of you have mentioned already in the chat, just that access to CE can be really valuable. Another idea you see here in the picture, an event that I did, was the meeting planner gave a copy of my book to all of the attendees. So they're actually leaving with something tangible. Teresa has her books as well. A lot of speakers today have some kind of a tangible that you can give away. And that's something that's lasting that people are going to remember as well.
And you would bargain with them for a bulk price on the book. So don't feel like you have to pay the Amazon price. The speakers will oftentimes give it to you at a cheaper price if you buy a bulk amount of them. So I just wanted to pop that in there.
Yeah, for sure. And we have close relationships with different vendors that want us to partner with them. They'll put a special stuffy into the book. Maybe they'll have a pre-printed bookmark or a flyer or something else. That those tangible items are still really important. I think my next slide touches upon that as well. We're in this digital age where we think everything is, everything needs to be digital, and that's just not true. Those little touches can make a big impression. We had stationery cards that we had that were pre-printed with our practice information, that were a really high quality card where we would write notes to some of the VIPs, attendees or referring doctors, that we really wanted to let them know we appreciated seeing them. New attendees. If you get new attendees at your meeting, invite them to a lunch and just say, hey, now that you had a chance to be here, it was great to meet you in person. When can we do a lunch? And, if you're the office manager, say, that the doctor is going to treat both of you to a lunch. And I don't know about you, Teresa, but we would always appreciate a nice lunch that we could, take the time to go to and spend some time getting to know someone else.
Absolutely. Some of the best relationships I've ever had with my specialty managers when I was a general in practice was when the managers would take me to lunch, and then I learned so much from them. That's how I actually started with medical billing. Was one of the office managers for the OM, for the oral surgeon's office. She was like, yeah, let me just show you how to do it. And then I realized, oh my gosh, this is terrifying. But that's how you learn, right? That's how you learn some stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And then, thinking about the people that are, dedicated to your study club event. This, again, I'm speaking about this from a specialty standpoint, but you can start to deliver those tangible items that can really be a big ROI for your practice. One of the things that we did was let our referring offices know which insurance plans that we work with. So we had a pre-printed, just like a postcard size card that we would deliver to the practices saying, here's the plans that we participate with. And the office team was very appreciative of that, the referring office, because they could kind of just keep that in a desk or in a drawer and just pull it out anytime they needed to know which plans that we were working with. Another periodontist created a really beautiful booklet of before and afters for his connective tissue grafts, for his gum grafts. And so the hygienists in the referring offices or the doctors would use that as patient education to show, here's what your recession looks like now. You go see Dr. So-and-so, and this is what your after result could look like. And those booklets were a little bit of an investment, but it was well worth it. Letting practices know when to refer, what type of referral you want. Printed notepads, so people do still take notes and use a pen and a pad of paper. So we would have printed notepads that we would provide for our teams. So plants, Teresa, I'm sure you had a bunch of other things too that help strengthen those relationships.
I see mostly now, especially from specialty offices, is the list of insurance companies or even a cheat sheet. One study club, I helped them create a list of conversations on how to say, hey, yes, you should go to this doctor, but they are out of network. And so I gave them some conversation starters that they could then give to the office managers. And that was a big hit. So yeah, you can really have some fun with this for sure.
If you learned something new today, subscribing is the best way to support the channel and keep learning with us.
Would you like to hear more? Follow the link for the full episode.